I told you the music was lame.
That's
What up,
cool.
Alpha Team? It's DJ AlphaTyler. We are back again with another episode of what I like to call Around the Music, because we don't just talk about music on this channel when we do interviews, because everybody does that. Everybody wants to know about your music, looking for deeper perspectives. But we have my homie. He's a West Coast rapper. His name is Wildcard. We got him coming in on the channel. Now, what does QM stand for? Because I noticed you put Wildcard QM right there, too.
Yeah, QM is quality music. That's like our old crew name, you know?
Okay.
And that's my original YouTube channel is Wildcard QM. And you can find more stuff on me on the internet if you type in Wildcard QM.
Okay, Wildcard QM. Because I know your regular YouTube channel, it's Wildcard the Dragon, right?
Yeah. So basically I got locked out of the first one, so I had to start a new one, and I'm still trying to get back into the old one. It's just some crazy technical shit that I got to figure out because I wanted just one channel, you know what I mean? But right now I have two, so that's just what we're doing.
Right. Let me plug real quick in the chat. I see a couple of people have already showed up. Let me plug into the chat. Wildcard the Dragons YouTube channel. It is Wildcard the Dragon is the one that you want to plug, right?
Yeah, I mean both of them, if that's possible, you know.
Yeah. Let me get Wildcard QM too. I had Wildcard the Dragon ready, but let me get Wildcard QM too. But if you guys don't know who Wildcard is, number one, is it you don't have a picture on the other one, right?
I don't know, bro. It's been a while. It was my original channel, you know.
It's got Suicide King Blues. It's got the Odyssey.
The Odyssey, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let me plug that one too. But yeah, if you guys don't know who Wildcard is by now, you have not been hanging around my live streams, because we have been burning up some Wildcard music, and you haven't been checking out Jason JV too much, because let me tell you, man, you might not realize it. I don't know if you do. Jason JV is out here plugging your content everywhere, man.
Yeah, no, he is. I appreciate him for that. I appreciate that type of support. That's super solid of him, you know.
Yeah, 100%, man. Let me see who we got in the chat. So we got Tater already. Tater calling me out for being late. Tater, a tree just fell on my house. Like, give me some slack. Let's see. We got Trent up in here. What up, brother? CJ Holiday, another reactor. Hey, CJ, have you ever checked out Wildcard's music? Because if you haven't, you need to be getting on that. Let's see. We got Tater again. Let's see. Buckshot Biggs, up and coming hip hop / country artist from North Carolina. How you doing, Buckshot? Let's see. I think that's got everybody that's been talking. We got viewers though. We just doubled in viewers. So I mean, people are pouring in. What up, everybody? If you guys missed it, we got Wildcard the Dragon on here. Well, Wildcard QM on here. We got Wildcard on here, and I'm super excited about this because I've been loving your music for a minute, man. Like I'll tell you. So I met your music. Jason came onto my channel during one of my live streams, and I do a live reaction stream every Thursday night. And Jason comes in one night and he's like, "Hey, man, you got to check out this guy Wildcard." And I'm like, "All right, we'll check out Wildcard." So we hit up Wildcard, and I'm trying to remember I think it was the Looking Glass. The Looking Glass,
Red
right?
Looking Glass.
Yeah,
I
Red
saw
Looking
that.
Glass.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah,
man. He showed up, and I'm like, this dude is a fucking storyteller. Like, this guy is telling stories like nobody in hip hop is right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, there are a lot of people. Let me rephrase. So there are a lot of people trying to make that push back to get hip hop back to what it's supposed to be, because hip hop is either about making a statement or telling a story or both. And I'm like, you know, when I first hit your music, I'm like, this is so far from that trash that like everybody else is trying to push out, where you're just trying to, you know, sound, you know, a little, get you a little trappy beat, put some auto tune and a bunch of processing on your vocals and then go with it. I'm like, this guy is doing something real. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. So with that, with the style of your music, and that's one of the big things I've been wanting to ask you about for a minute. So you're doing like something completely different, like not just the hip hop stuff. Like the hip hop stuff's good, but what really caught me is like the tracks that you've got with your dad, like where you guys, because you guys are blending like hip hop and a little bit of bluesy stuff in there, maybe some jazz elements in that. Like, how'd you get to that, man?
I mean, my pops always played the guitar. You know, he's from like the Led Zeppelin, Black Sabbath era, the classic rock era. And in 2002, I had a beat. I made a beat and I put a song together, and I thought just add him on the song, and it just came out super ill. And it was called Liquid Red. If you haven't heard that, it's like one of my older tracks.
Yeah.
That's the first song we ever like melded my generation hip hop and his classic rock generation together, and then we found kind of a niche that we wanted to continue with, you know?
Yeah. That's to me, that's awesome, because I love when people go outside the box with stuff. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah.
And like, so I didn't really catch that vibe at first, but once we got around to those tracks, I'm just like, man, this dude is going like, he's really changing things up. And so like your dad, I'm guessing like he's pretty supportive of your music. He always has been.
For sure.
Yeah. So that's pretty awesome. Like really having that talent come in. Like, I've thought about that. I've been doing music at this point in some form, fashion, or another for about 20 years. And I'm like, you know, my dad would never jump on the track with me. So like that is awesome for me to see, you know. Sorry about that. I'm checking like some, we got power outages popping up on my phone around here and everything. So if the stream does cut off for anybody's reference, I am in Kentucky, and apparently it looks like the set for Frozen, if that was a live action movie right now. So if you guys don't know, Kentucky doesn't exist right now. We're under a layer of ice. So if it does cut off, apologies to everybody. Just letting you guys know. So that kind of gets into how you started doing music with your dad. You know, you threw that on the beat, and I think that's cool. But so in a lot of your music, you're talking about your background and everything. It sounds like a pretty rough background, you know, like what I've gathered in a couple of songs. I mean, you know, on the one hand, you're kind of talking, I'm guessing you're talking about the area, but you're talking about kind of like seeing drugs and everything, like all the rampant drug use, you know, kind of parents not really taking care of their kids, being there for the kids the way that they're supposed to and everything like that. And so is that something that you saw a lot in your area?
And not necessarily my area, just in my family, man. My dad will tell you too. He was a drug dealer and a meth cook in my early years. You know what I mean? And he was in and out of my life and in and out of prison. So I was exposed to that lifestyle. Like I would get in trouble at school, and my mom would take me over to my dad's house, and it would be like a drug house with like hookers smoking dope and bikers and all that crazy shit. And I loved it though. At the time, I was a teenager. I was like, oh man, you know what I mean? But some of the sorrow and pain I went through was when he was choosing drugs over me, you know, as when I was a kid or whatever. So that's like a lot of the pain that I try to put in the music. It comes from that void that opened up in my, you know, and then I ended up doing drugs myself and alcohol and going crazy on that myself, and kind of followed his same path. So, and then you see a lot of things when you're in like the drug game, you know what I mean? You see a lot of crazy shit or whatever. So yeah, I just wanted to reflect on that. I'm sober now, and he is sober now too. So it's like kind of just reflecting on the old shit. You know what I mean?
So is that tough for you guys to reconcile? Like, I mean, because I don't imagine, I mean, it never really lines up perfect where, you know, you kind of figure that that's not the life you want to be a part of at the same time that somebody else does. I'm guessing you guys kind of staggered like the points where you came to terms and said, you know what, like this isn't what I'm doing. Was that kind of hard for you guys to reconcile at first? Or I mean,
I had a lot of anger from when, you know, like all the shit that I got put through as a kid or whatever, you know what I'm saying? But all I ever wanted for him was to be sober and do good, you know, by me and by everybody or whatever. And once he finally started doing that, it healed a lot of the old pain, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, I mean, and now we can make music together, because, I mean, neither one of us are any good at making music when we're loaded. You know what I'm saying? It's just the way it is, you know, getting high and shit. I forget my lyrics, or I'm fucking can't. Can I cuss on here?
Yeah, you can cuss.
Oh, okay. Fuck. I thought you were going to be like, bleep, motherfucker. No.
No,
but,
so
yeah.
For a while, I tried to be careful about that, but like we're kind of at the point now. I think if you're 2 minutes into the video, like we're good. Like,
okay.
Yeah.
I'll try to, I mean, I talk like a sailor, bro. I'm a rapper, you know what I mean?
listen, man, I spent 8 years in the Army. You can't outdo me.
Thank you for your service, bro. I appreciate that, man. Seriously.
No, I appreciate that. You could.
Yeah. But yeah, that's kind of how it went. And then we used a lot of that pain to just mix it into art, man. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Art has been like the solution to a lot of this shit, which is like, if I didn't have art, I don't know what, you know what I mean, where I would be at. So it saved me in a lot of ways.
Yeah, no, I understand that. So you're completely clean now, right? Like,
Yeah, I don't drink, I don't smoke weed, I don't do anything, you know.
That's awesome. Congratulations on that, because
Thanks, man.
that's a tough point. Like, I've battled with addiction for a long time. I still drink, and it's like
Yeah.
sometimes I have to have a couple of drinks just to level myself out. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah, no, for me, like if I were to smoke weed, I get thirsty, then I drink, then I do something else, then I'm on the you know what I mean, and the cycle all over again, bro. So that's just something I learned early on, was that if I'm gonna succeed in life, I can't be on drugs or alcohol. That's just for me though. There's a lot of people that I know that can work, drink, smoke weed, and still have a great life and shit. You know, I'm just one of those that just can't. And once I do it, I just can't stop, bro. You know what I mean? So I got to just be abstinent from all of it, you know?
I feel that. I do feel that, because I went through a period. I mean, and I'm a firm believer that our life goes through seasons and stuff. And I went through a period where that was my mindset, and I was like, I can't do any of this stuff. And then I started warming up a little bit more. But But I mean, you know, personally, like I said, I mean, with drugs and stuff like that, like I can't rock any of that, because I can't trust myself when I'm on that stuff.
Me too. Yeah.
So I fully get that, and that's kind of one thing. So another artist actually that Jason introduced me to was the Real Dead Poet, and you guys are pretty tight, yeah.
Yeah. That's my partner in rhyme for sure.
Yeah. I love, so I kind of got those shades, because I love listening to his stories, kind of hearing about, you know, the things that he's went through, the trials that he's went through because of drugs and like prison time and stuff like that. But one thing that it always comes back to, and I noticed it in several of his songs, is he's always shouting you out as being like that beacon for him, you know, pulling him through all that stuff. And that's awesome. That truly is awesome. Like, when you're able to be that light for somebody, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, well, and the thing with us, the way that because we put out an album in 2007, right before he went to prison for 10 years for bank robbery, and we put out an album, and our whole like niche was like the angel and the demon, you know, where I would be talking about my sobriety and how to do things better, and he would just be talking about going all out into crime, and you know what I mean. That was like our little thing, was the angel and the demon. You know what I'm saying?
Right. That's I do like that concept. I mean, it's like you got, because you guys have a good riff off of each other. You know what I mean? You guys have like really good kind of complementary vocals with each other. Like I wouldn't say like you're a rap duo, you know, but I'm saying like as a duo, like you complement each other well. Because he's got kind of that, you're both geared towards storytelling, which I appreciate. He's got kind of that slower, more paced tone. You're going off, man. Like some of them raps where you're going off on that chopper flow, like that is hard, man. Like,
yeah, I appreciate that, bro.
Like it blows my mind. So when I first checked you out, I was looking you up, and granted, like I said, I didn't know about the Wildcard QM page. I just knew about Wildcard the Dragon.
Yeah.
And so I went over it. It was like just a couple hundred subs. I'm like, what? Like, how is this guy? This guy is phenomenal. Like, there's no way this guy is stuck down like at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like,
it's because of the new page. You know what I mean? The old page I had for years, and then the new one I just had to make like this last year. So that's just getting it off the ground. You know what I mean? I didn't get enough views on those because it was brand new and a lot of people didn't know about it. So that was just basically my fault. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Well, I think you've got phenomenal music. Like I said, I mean, I would be very surprised if I didn't see you blow up soon, because I mean, just listen to what you're doing, the way that you're telling stories, the way that you're flowing and everything. Like it's on a different level. And you know, I don't bring people onto my channel just to hop them up blindly. Like, I'm really gonna
I appreciate it, bro.
And the fact is, like, when you're going at it, like some of them flows, how you're weaving your words together, how you're telling the stories that you're telling, just literally blow my mind. Like, and so I do really appreciate that. I was looking at it too. I mean, you got a lot of pretty dope features. Like, I think the one that I'm most familiar with that you've pulled into your music is probably Mad Child. Like you got Mad Child, you got Slain, who? This is probably a loaded question. You don't have to answer it if you don't want to. But out of every feature you've had, who's your favorite feature you've had on your music?
I mean, I can't. I like them all, man. That's why, like, because I was a fan of all those guys just as a fan, you know.
Yeah.
So then when I was able to get them on a track or whatever, like they all just were, like sealed the deal for me, you know. And I went on a tour with Slain and Mad Child in 2013, where we toured Canada. Yeah, and I was on that tour, and that's how those features kind of came about. You know what I mean? Because I was on the road with those guys, you know.
Yeah, that's awesome. Like, I mean, that's especially getting out with Mad Child. Like for me, I've been listening to Mad Child for a little bit. I actually discovered him pretty early on in this channel, and so I mean, getting that kind of tour like lined up. I don't know where you were at in 2013 because you were talking about 2007. Like, how long have you been making music?
Since like 2002, but like the first album I put out was 2007. I mean, it was always a hobby. Like I got good in like 99, you know. I went to a boys' home when I was a teenager, and I was writing all the time, and then I was rapping in there with those guys. And then when I got out, I had a friend of mine, Jerome Dennis, who ended up playing pro ball, but he kind of schooled me on how to freestyle. You know, he would throw words at me, and like I would have to mix those in my flow. And now in my shows, I'll do a freestyle part where I'll have the crowd write words on note cards, and we'll put them in a pitcher, put a beat on, and I'll just pick the words out of the jar, and you know what I mean? Yeah. So like he taught me the art of freestyle and shit, and which I'm happy to have, because that can save you in a lot of moments, you know what I mean, when you're just thinking off the top of your head and you can do it like that, you know?
Yeah.
But yeah.
So you didn't really come from a freestyle background. You kind of learned how to freestyle after?
Yeah, I mean, in the beginning, yeah, he was just schooling me on freestyle, you know? Yeah. So, but I mean, I've always been better at writing, you know what I'm saying? Just, I mean, like I can do both, I guess. That's like to be like a true MC to me is to be able to do both, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'm just lucky I have both in my arsenal, you know?
Absolutely. Let's see. Shout out right here. Apparently while we've been talking, CJ hopped out and checked out your song with Crooked, and he's saying that song is fire.
Thank you, CJ. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. I mean that's the thing. Like I haven't heard a bad track that you've done. I've heard some tracks that I was listening to. I'm trying to remember. Let me think. Let me look at the because it was on the War. Let me look at the War playlist real quick, because there was one track on that really, like, when I heard it, I was like, it threw me. I want to say it was Sick Girl. Yeah, it was Sick Girl.
Yeah, you had a reaction to that. I saw that. That shit was hella funny, dog. I was like, this boy is nasty. You know what I mean?
I listened through. I'm like, God, blood. Like, where is all this coming from? Like, my dude's bringing some different things up out of here. But I like that. I mean, I like the versatility as an artist. Like, you know, being able to hit that serious piece, you know, go back, give something heartfelt, you know, really speaking out to a lot of struggles that people are seeing, like in kind of some, I wouldn't say impoverished, but like being from Southeast Kentucky, like meth is huge here. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, there's so many people locked in that meth grind and everything. And so I've seen like a lot of that drug piece, probably not the same way that you have, but you know, like it's everywhere, and it's and you see people fall into it so easy, you know, going through the drug court, complaining about what happens after the drug courts, all that stuff. And so like seeing all that stuff, and then hearing some of your songs, you know, where you're really going into that piece, like living on the inside of it, you know what I'm saying? And that was one of my big questions, because I knew that, like, you know, you and your dad making music together, obviously I'm assuming you guys have a pretty good relationship. Like looking back on how you grew up, like I would be pissed at somebody who put me through all that, you know what I'm saying? Like and
we've always been more like brothers, you know what I mean, rather than a father-son relationship. My grandpa, who passed away in 2017, was kind of like, he's my dad's dad. He was sort of like the dad to both of us, and me and my dad were just more of like brothers, you know what I'm saying? It's just kind of the way it went, you know?
Right on. Yeah, and I mean, that makes sense, man. That definitely you know, kind of blends a little bit better, but it also, I mean, I think it's a good thing because I mean, you guys, when you guys are together, I mean, I don't know if anybody else, I can't think of anybody else kind of doing that style, like bringing like those elements into the same songs together, like you're doing with your dad. But I mean, it's awesome that you guys are able to kind of get outside the box. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
Let's see. There apparently somebody donated with a question. I didn't hear it. But I do see right there while I'm scrolling up to catch this. Have you ever battled before? You ever done any battle rap?
When I was a teenager, you know what I mean? I would do that. But now it's more like I like making songs and shit, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So it's not my, I love watching them. You know what I mean? I love like King of the Dot. I love, as a fan, I'll watch that shit. But yeah, I'm more sensitive. I can't have people saying your mama jokes spitting in my face, bro. You know what I mean? It's just kind of tough for me, dog. You know what I mean? I'd rather just go song for song, you know?
Yeah. So do you have a good relationship with your mom too? Like I know you've mentioned her a few times, especially like talking about some of your points where you maybe disappointed her and with Astray and everything. What's that looking like?
Yeah, no, she's definitely been there through it all, man, through thick and thin. You know what I mean? And that's part of like my guilt is when I would be running the streets and I would just picture my mom at the house worried about me and shit. You know what I'm saying? That was like something that always affected me, you know, because she never did me wrong, you know? Yeah. So, but yeah, she's just super happy that, you know, because when I'm not doing good, she's not doing good. You know what I mean? We're just bonded like that, you know? So if I'm doing good in life, she's happier about it, of course, you know, just like all moms or most moms would be about, you know, their kids or whatever.
Yeah.
So yeah, we got a good relationship, man. Yeah, for sure.
So tell me kind of on that note, like I've heard you talk a little bit about faith, and it's interesting because like, you know, I hear you talking a little bit about faith, you know, maybe talking about maybe not where your faith is at, but where you hope that it's going or where you want it to be and everything. What does that aspect of your life look like?
I mean, I'm not religious by any means, but I'm definitely spiritual, and just going through like recovery from drugs and alcohol, you kind of get introduced to a spiritual side or whatever. Yeah. So that's something that I'm, you know, and I also know if I were to kind of clean up some of the lyrics a little bit and speak more like, just be like, I don't know how to say it, like less, because there's a lot of anger in there, and there's a lot of cussing and anger and crazy shit and raw shit, which I like, and that's what I grew up on. That's the music I grew up on too. But I mean, I want to be able to utilize my full potential too. You know what I'm saying? And I know if I were to do that, then I'd probably have more success, to be honest with you, bro.
I don't know though. Like part of me, like I understand what you're saying, but like part of me too, it's like you don't want to make something fake. You know what I mean?
Oh
like,
no, for sure. No, and it would never be fake. I'm just talking about more honestly about all my emotions and shit like that, rather than just. But I mean, I grew up on that raw rap shit, so I like, you know what I mean, doing that. You know what I'm saying?
Have you ever listened to Mises?
No, I haven't, bro. I see you guys talking about him though. I need to look into him. You know what I mean?
He'd be worth checking out, because I feel like in that regard, like he's got, you know, I mean, he is definitely leaning a lot more onto his faith, because he's very vocal about being born again and all that stuff. But but he also, I mean, he does a really good job of kind of balancing that with the raw kind of, you know, not filtered, not cleaned up and everything. And I feel like that's a good path for people though. Like I feel like a lot of people don't see that side of, you know, people who profess Christianity as a faith actually showing, you know what, like Christians are still flawed. Like nobody's trying to be perfect in this game.
Yeah.
And so it was just a thought I had right there. Like, it definitely strikes me kind of from where you're coming from, because I do always love when people throw into their music that they have at least, you know, that feeling. I'm personally a Christian. I'm not trying to push that on you, so I hope.
No, I feel you, bro. I mean, I would, if I were to say what I was, it would lean towards Christianity. You know what I'm saying? I was
Right.
baptized Catholic, so I've always been afraid of hell and shit. You know what I mean? Just the way it is. You know what I'm saying? So, but I mean,
Yeah.
honestly, that saved my life because I've been on the verge of suicide a few times, and I was just always, I mean, not to get religious with it, but there was always that, well, what if hell is really there, motherfucker? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, that's
Yeah.
scary to me, you know?
You don't want to be there, right?
Yeah, for sure, bro. Definitely not. You know what I mean? And I've seen enough hell in my own life and hell on earth type shit, just through drug psychosis and just crazy shit, you know what I mean, that fucked with my head, you know,
Yeah.
that I just want some peace. You know what I mean? Just want some fucking peace, bro.
Just want something that's gonna give you that feeling for a minute. I got you,
Yeah,
man.
man.
Yeah. So like with everything going in your background, you know, kind of growing up, how you did, you know, talking about going over to dad's and you're seeing like the drugs, you're seeing the hookers and everything like that. How did you get into music from that piece? Because, you know, I get how you would have a ton to write about 100%, but like, how did you get into the point of actually like making music?
So my grandpa always taught me to creatively write, you know.
Yeah.
I've always liked English in school more than math, you know what I mean? I just always liked words more. My
Yeah.
grandpa, I credit him seriously to my writing because he's the one who helped me sharpen my pen game, you know? Because
Yeah.
he would write like John went to the store and then he'd hand me the pen and be like, then what did he do? And I'd be like, and then he got milk, and then he would say like, okay, and then he put it in the basket, or you know what I mean? And then he went
Yeah.
to the car, but his car was locked. He had to get the keys out of it and all this shit. And you know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean? Just being creative with your mind. So I would write like poems and poetry and shit when I was a kid. And then coming through like with the raw rap era of the 90s, I was like, I think I can do this too. You know what I mean? And I just started applying things that were happening in my life to songs, you know? And
Yeah.
that's just kind of how that happened. You know what I'm saying?
Right
If that
on.
makes sense. Yeah.
No, it does. And you know, while you were talking about it, I was thinking the same thing that Amy Lynn said, you know, how he taught you to write was fantastic. Like it's kind of awesome to see like that figure in your life. You know what I'm saying? Like you were talking about how you and your dad were more like brothers. He was more like a dad to you and everything. And it is really cool because it sounds like he was a pretty good dad figure, you know?
Yeah, for sure. He was World War II vet. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Super strong, solid man. You know what I mean? A good man to have in your life and shit. So I did have that. I did have that part to fall back on, you know, my mom and my grandpa, even though my dad had his own demons, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I did have healthy support in certain areas that made me a good guy, I think, you know?
Man, that's awesome. So with your music, like obviously I know like the guitar parts, you know, your dad's doing those. With the beats though, are they mostly purchased? Do you make them? Like how do you get most of the beats that you're rocking?
So the original album that we did was Dark Night of the Soul, and I made most of those beats. You know, I mean, I had a beat machine, and but now as I've gotten more into the game and met more producers, I'm just like they're just make better beats than me. So I just purchased the beats. You know what I mean? Like with Sick Girl, that was Rob the Viking who Swollen Members with Mad Child in them. He's the one who made the beat for Sick Girl. You know what I'm saying? Originally it was my dude Simple, and then we did a remix with Rob the Viking. So he did the Sick Girl beat. And then C Lance and my dude Smoke M2D6, he did the Odyssey, Suicide King Blues, he did Lucky Devil. I just dudes that know how to make beats so easy. It's just easier for me to just sit back and write to them, you know what I mean?
Yeah. That's awesome. He works with Rob the Viking. Like I'm not gonna lie, like, you know, because I make beats, I DJ, you know, I do like these things. And one of the guys that I always look at that always really impresses me, and granted, I really love like horrorcore and like those horrorcore vibes. And so like Swollen Members really speaks to me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, yeah.
But Rob the Viking, man, that guy is impressive. And now that I'm thinking about it, actually, like I can really kind of see like his hand in that beat for that song. Now that you threw that out there. And I think
it's like a driving beat, you know what I mean? That's why my dad loved it too, because it just had a drive to it, you know what I mean? That just made it real easy to write to and play guitar to, you know?
he's got my thought on Rob is like he's got that distinctive sound that doesn't like overshadow anything, but like as soon as you know that it's from Rob the Viking, like you know that it's from Rob the Viking. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, for sure.
And I really do appreciate that guy. I feel like I don't know a ton about him. I know what he's done with Swollen Members, of course, what he's done with with Prevail and with Mad Child since, and then I know like some of his other projects he's worked on here and there, but I really do enjoy that dude's sound. Like he's always got that distinctive sound that I can appreciate.
Yeah, he's sick, man, for sure.
So you said you got to know him, you got the beat from it. So like, do you know him pretty well, or was it?
I mean, just as like just in a professional relationship, business wise, you know.
Yeah.
I'm not like his buddy or nothing, but like he's super cool. He's helped me mix songs and shit. You know what I mean? And he actually mixed the Red Looking Glass. He put the final mix on that, and Lucky Devil, both the ones that I've made videos into. You know.
Yeah.
So he's there. He's just like a keyboard away if I need him. You know what I mean? Throw him a little money and he can mix something or make a beat or whatever. You know what I mean? It's just, yeah.
That's a powerful person to have a keyboard away.
Yeah,
so
definitely.
So what are you looking for? Like, what are you looking for in 2021? Because I'm assuming. I mean, you know, I know you're not going to slow down on your grind anytime soon, anything like that. Like, I know you got some music coming. Like, what are you looking at?
Man, if we could fucking tour again, that would be awesome, bro.
Yeah.
Like COVID strangled the tour last year. I mean, it shut down everybody's tours, everybody's live, you know what I mean? So once we can start doing that, I mean, I did 2 shows last year and then the world shut down, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's not unique. I mean, that happened to everybody. Everybody suffered one way or the other through it, you know? But just for me, it would be dope to be able to do some shows again, actually tour the war out there. Because I dropped it in January and then everything started shutting down in March, you know?
Yeah.
So that would be cool. I'm trying to get an album out by August, a new one, because I like a couple fans have said that too. And then my boy Self-Titled dropped some knowledge on me and was like, yo, you kind of wait like a long time between projects, you know what I mean? Like you should be kind of flooding the market or whatever. And I took that to heart, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Amy Lynn, if you come to Minnesota, I'll come. I appreciate that, Amy Lynn. I appreciate that for real. We've done Minnesota. We did, man, I don't want to fuck up the names. I know we did Minneapolis and we did a few other joints out there. Was it Duluth? Is Duluth in Minnesota or is that Wisconsin?
That's Wisconsin, I think.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I didn't mean to fuck that up. I get lost when I get up there. You know what I mean? But
Minnesota and Wisconsin are the same thing.
They're close by. You know what I mean? But yeah, so what the fuck was I talking about, dog? Oh, what am I?
What's coming up this year?
Duluth. For 2021, yeah, man, I'm trying to get a new album out, trying to get some shows going, trying to fucking make it happen, bro, you know? Because that's the biggest thing is like as an independent artist, Sweeney said Florida has been open. All right, well, Sweeney, let me know if you know a promoter out there. I'd love to get out there, you know? I know like Idaho, which is close to where I'm at in Washington. Even though I grew up in Cali, I live in Spokane, Washington right now. We're like 40 minutes away from the Idaho border, and that's somewhat open. So, but I mean, I'm looking for when the world is open and I can do like a big tour, you know what I'm saying? Like where it's not going to be a lot of regulations and shit, but that could be a while, so I'm not sure.
If you come through Kentucky, I'll for sure be there.
Oh, she said Duluth is in Minnesota.
Yeah, so she corrected me. Apparently, I'm wrong. Why did I think it was in? Are you sure there's? Maybe. So I was thinking about like that Duluth Trading Company. You know, the ones that have like the really awesome commercials about. Anyway, but yeah, I thought for some reason I thought that was in Wisconsin because the last time I was in Wisconsin was a couple of years ago. I know too. I don't know how strapped you are on time or anything like that. If you need me to shut up or cut it off, just
no, we could go. Are you cool with like another 20 minutes or so?
Yeah, man, I'm good with. If you want to stay, listen, we've done a couple of days ago. We did a 4-hour interview. So like,
shit.
If you want to stay all night, you're welcome to stay on.
Yeah,
all
I
night.
appreciate that, bro.
Yeah, man. Like
I might have to smoke a cigarette at some point, though.
You smoke anytime, man.
It'll just take you outside, and then it just makes the interview all fucking crazy. But fuck it, we're gonna do it. Let's do it. Just keep talking, bro.
That's okay. No hate at all.
All right.
I do usually like to a little bit into these to bring some people on to the interview, just to let them kind of jump in, open up questions, all that stuff. So I mean, if you're down for that, like I'll start letting people jump in, one or two at a time. But I always like to ask, because I know some people just don't want to be kind of dealing with that kind of energy, because you don't know what's going to come.
Yeah, you don't know what's going to come. You're just going to have to back me up if it's some crazy shit, bro. You know what I mean?
Gabe throwing it out there. We did have a dump taken on an interview. A cig is a better smell. Do you know
Gabe?
Do you know Big Buzz? He's a rapper.
I've heard the name.
Yeah, so he was on. I was a couple of interviews ago. Big Buzz came on for an interview. Literally, like, took us into the bathroom with him, and he's like looking for the toilet paper and everything.
Oh shit! Yeah, none of that coming from me, bro.
Man,
I'm kind of a private guy in that way.
Where you at with all that snow, man?
I'm in Spokane, Washington, bro. It snowed today. It snowed today and last night.
Gosh.
Yeah, man, that's what I'm out in. And I actually had the thank you for reaching out to me after that accident, because I had that accident on a icy mountain road where the fucking truck flipped over.
Yeah.
And I didn't have my belt on like an idiot, you know what I mean? I flew onto the driver. It was just terrible. It was the scariest car wreck I ever been in, man. You know what I mean? Never been in a car that flipped over before, So that was like trauma.
It sounded pretty crazy when you were telling me about it. I had about 2007, I flipped my Dakota, like my old I had a 94 Dakota, and I flipped it. I went over a guardrail and like down a hill, and like got stopped by a tree finally. And when you were telling me about it, I was just like replaying that, like I was thinking about that, and it just man, that is terrible when you get it. And I am sorry, because I know you sent me another one too about climbing out your passenger window, and I never responded to it. Like I just noticed it when I was hitting you up today. But I was thinking about that, and like I've been there. I went through that thing, and what I found out was when that happened to me, like I had something fly up and it like gashed my head like right through there. And I had a mohawk at the time, so like it went up like literally the side of my mohawk, and my hair was laying over it. And I climbed up that hill and went walking down this wet road, and I'm like banging on this random person's door, trying to get them to help me, because it was in the middle of nowhere. And like, did you have anything like that? Like what? Like, were you in shock for a minute? Because I was in shock. Like the first thing I tried to do was turn on my truck and drive out.
The scariest part for me was being trapped in the car when it landed on its side, and having to like come to your senses to think like, okay, you got to reach up and open the door, because you know what I mean? For a minute, the fucking what's this Tater Monkey, Come to Maui. I didn't listen to rap, but I appreciate that Tater Monkey for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah, but so I was freaking out because we were like trapped. That's like one of my biggest fears, is getting like buried alive or being trapped in some shit, claustrophobia. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So yeah. But so I yelled to the dude, "What do we do?" And he was like, "Open the door." And he had to open the locks on the door in order for me to push out. And I actually had to climb all over him, standing on him and shit, until I found the center console to stand on, and then popped the door open and stood up straight up through the passenger side.
Man, that's
fucking cold out here, bro.
I
gotta quit smoking, homie.
If I was, I wish I was on my phone right now, because I wish I could show you what a contrast it is from where you're at to where I'm at, because like, yours is all white, like mine is all crystally, like literally for the past 3 days. Yeah, it's just ice. Like it's just been freezing rain and ice the past 3 days. And literally, like I said, like that tree busted off, fell on my roof earlier, and like everything outside just looks like glass.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had last night there was some DoorDasher that was going down the road, and he was coming back up. He had to leave his car in my driveway overnight. And then like one of the ladies that lives on my road, she like got parked in my yard somehow. Like she ran off the road and just got stuck there. Like I wish we had some snow right now. Moral of the story, that's what I'm getting at. I wish there was some snow here. because
So you got a 4-wheel drive vehicle.
I
You got
drive
snow tires and the whole thing.
I drive a Jeep Wrangler. Yeah, I mean,
Okay, yeah.
I'm always down, but like other people not so smart, I guess.
Yeah, it took me a while to get snow tires, bro. I was driving. I was just trying my luck for a while.
Yeah.
And then I got snow tires, and then, but still, you could still slide around on those motherfuckers too. You know what I mean? So,
Yeah. Well,
like, it was snowing today, and I was just inching along the road. You know what I mean?
You probably get snow year round too, Lo. Like,
no, it's just the winter
no?
up here. We got 4 seasons in this area. You know what I mean?
Okay.
So yeah, this will clear up pretty soon, another month or so, hopefully.
Yeah. Let's see. Didn't see the vid. Saw the pic though. Unless what are you talking about, Gabe? Did you put a video out of your wreck?
No, I shot a picture of it though to like JV.
Yeah. I think that might
that
be
what
what Gabe's talking about. I'm not
okay.
sure. Gabe, you gotta let me know what you're talking about right there. So miss me with a cold. What's the temp in Spokane?
Man, I don't know what it is right now. It's like 19 or something, if I'm not mistaken.
That's worse than we got, man. We got ice everywhere, but it's still like 20, 30 degrees or something like that.
Yeah.
Let's see. Trying to grab a couple of these that stick out. Let's see. Rolled a vehicle. Was lucky to be able to walk away with nothing wrong. Got more cuts and bruises from the mesquite tree having to walk through the pasture to get a phone.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Shout out to anybody that's rolled a vehicle, because that shit is scary. I know it from firsthand now, you know?
Yeah.
Just being trapped in the motherfuckers, you know what I mean? That's just crazy. You feel like a washing machine or some shit, you know what I mean?
Right on. Caleb's saying his vehicle drives better in ice. I don't know what kind of vehicle you got, but I need one of those because
got a snowmobile, bro.
Yeah, you got something crazy going on. I mean, if it's driving better in ice than snow, I don't know, man. Drive SUV, no issues with bad weather.
That's good.
Amy's saying in Minnesota it's 0 and feels like 15 below because of the wind chill.
Yeah, the wind will get you, man. The wind is where it's fucking the wind and the ice. You know what I mean? Those are like, that's the combo. That's the deadly combo right there. That winter shit.
Yeah. Let me see. Let me get this real quick for Jason. Jason's trying to get in. I know he's got a lot to talk to you about because he been, like I said, Jason's been 100%. Like I said, when I'm surprised he's never hit you up for a feature or something. Do you do a lot of features?
I do, like, you know, if like usually if the price is right or whatever, I'll do them, you know what I mean? Definitely, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And you know what I mean? JV has definitely supported me though. So from day one, you know, I go live every Monday on my Facebook page, Wildcard QM, facebook.com/Wildcard QM, every Monday at 7 Pacific. And, you know, just do Q&A. Sometimes I'll take them to the studio with me or whatever, but that's my lives every Monday. It's on Facebook.
Yeah. I gotta hit that up real quick. I'm gonna give you a follow real quick because.
All right.
I definitely, like I said, I've been down with your music. It's just like I get pulled between the topics page. Honestly, I partially hate topics. Like I get that topics automatically happens, like, you know, and it's a necessary part of the game right now. But I hate topics pages because it makes it so hard to keep track of what people are doing.
Yeah. And then they shut all the comments off on those. I didn't like that. You know, I like reading the comments from fans and family and people that support it. It's fun for me to just, you know what I mean, see what people are saying about it. But on the Wildcard topic page, you can listen to the music, but they turned the comments off for some reason. YouTube did. I don't know why, but
it's stupid. What up, Jason?
JP in the house. What's up, bro?
What's going on, Phil?
Chilling, man. How you doing? Look at, it's all nice and California style behind you, bro.
That's
garbage
right now, yo. I just got here.
Oh, really?
Yeah. I don't start until 5 though, so we got a little while. All
right, cool, man. Yeah, I appreciate you, Jason, for everything, bro. Seriously, because you're the one hooking all these interviews up and supporting me. So I appreciate that, bro. For real.
Yeah, no, and I kind of wish that AlphaTyler would hold off on that whole asking about features and everything, because I was going to inquire you about that. I mean,
nah,
we can work it out, bro. I mean, I wanna like, you know, establish myself first before I go and reach out that far. You know what I mean?
I was plugging it. I'm trying to hook you up. Listen.
I don't know, man. It sounds like you're trying to put me on the spot, bro. I'm like, yo, hold up. I'll ask him when I'm ready.
Listen, man. It's like sometimes when you break your leg, sometimes you need some help carrying it on through, and so I'm just trying to pick your leg up and push it on through the door. You know what I'm saying? Oh man.
But yeah, Phil, I mean, for future reference, man, would you ever be down to do a track with me? And if so, definitely. Like, what would be the price?
Let's talk about it offline. You know what I mean? But I'll hit you. I'll get you the homie price for sure. You know what I mean? Because you definitely are solid with me, bro. So it's all good. It's all love. You know.
All right, man. I appreciate that.
Yeah, for sure.
It's Caleb saying Indie Amplify is a good source. Shout out to Indie Amplify. For the record, anybody watching, not you two, so plug your ears. But anybody watching, I am running a 10% off sale this week on Indie Amplify. Just throwing it out there.
Cool.
Your stuff's already on my regular rotation. Like you ain't got that going on. You ain't got to worry about a sale or anything like that. But I'm saying anybody looking to get something new on the channel, 10% off this week.
Dope.
So Jason, you got some questions. You got some questions for the man. I know, because you hit me up the other day saying you wanted to jump up in here. You wanted to be up in this. So ask the man some things.
So what's the status on the new album, Card? When's that coming out?
Should be August, bro. That's like what I'm saying right now. I've been going in there twice a week. I'll be going in there Thursday for some guitar. So I'll be going live Thursday. So you'll hear some new guitar from Pops. And then I'm trying to go twice a week. So what is it, February right now? So yeah, I'm hoping if I can get it done by like June, July, I can get it mixed and mastered and out by August, you know? But to be honest, I'm only like 4 or 5 songs in and I need about 12. So I still need like 7 tracks, you know what I mean, that I'm searching for beats and all that for, you know?
Yeah. Okay, I feel you. So how is Pops, by the way?
Pops is good, man. He's doing good, you know what I mean? So we had Smoke, my dude Smoke, who did the Odyssey beat and Lucky Devil and Suicide King Blues, and he's like my main producer. He did a track, like a more bluesy track again for Pops to play guitar to, so that's what we're getting into on Thursday. So I'm looking forward to hearing it, you know what I mean? So it'll start. So a lot of the times it starts with the beat and then my lyrics, and then Pops will accent it after. But this will be starting with the beat and Pops starting with the guitar, you know what I mean? And then seeing where I fit in afterwards, you know? So it'll be kind of a flip on this one on Thursday.
All right. And then will there be a lot more Dead Poet in this album too?
Well, I got him on 2 tracks. Like I got the Gallows out, you know, that'll probably be going on the album. That's just a single that I wanted to see what people thought about, you know what I mean? And so I got him on another track. Did you see the live from yesterday?
No, I don't think I caught that one.
Yeah. So we went in there yesterday morning and did a live. It's still on there. I'm probably going to take it off just because I don't want it to leak. I want to be able to see. I'm in between, like making sure people know that I have content, and then also making sure that I have an album where they haven't just already heard it on Facebook Live. You know what I mean? So I kind of like, I'll put like a glimpse up there, but then I'll take it down so that it's not just like, you know what I mean? People are like, well, we fucking heard all these songs already, bro, because you've been in Facebook, dog, every week. You know what I'm saying? We need that new shit. So
it's got to be one of those things where, like, if you know, you know, and if you don't, oh well, that's your bad.
Yeah, for sure. So yeah, that's the plan, man. I'm definitely working on it, man. You know, getting something out this year, no matter what. So I'm trying to do something every single year. You know what I mean? Because that's like the original standard plan is you drop an album and then you tour. And then you get back in the booth and you drop an album, then you tour, you know. But this last year's been so fucked up that we did 2 shows and then the world shut down. So I didn't even get to tour the war how I wanted to, you know.
Do Do you feel as crazy about things, by the way, speaking of that, speaking of music, and that grind, that cycle and everything, do you feel as crazy as I feel right now? Like, I remember a time when it was like, maybe every 1 or 2 years you're coming out with an album, you know what I mean? And now we're at this point where it's like, you got to drop something like every 3 months to be keeping up with everybody. Like, does that feel as insane to you as it does to me?
Yeah, I mean, because like I do other things in my life, you know what I mean? So it's like if I could do music all day, every day, I'd be able to get something out every fucking couple months, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But like I'm still, and I probably need to change this, but I'm still from the old school a little bit where you drop like a dope album, you tour it, you drop another one, you tour it. But that's why I was thinking I dropped the Gallows as a single to give him something, you know what I mean? Because like I wanted to stay on the relevant track or whatever, you know? I don't know. It's a weird fucking formula, bro, you know, the way it's changing.
I've got respect for that though. Like I prefer that style because it's like when you're coming out with an album every 3 months or something like that, like I don't even have time to digest your music before you're giving me more. You know what I mean?
Yeah, yeah.
And to me, like the way that cycle is supposed to work, it's like you're not gonna have a great album that you made in a month. You're not gonna have one. Like it's not gonna the lyricism will not be your best. It cannot be your best. You may have 1 or 2 great songs, but you will not put your best project out if you worked on it for a month and a half, 2 months. You will not be putting out something that is going to be lasting and memorable. You're just going to be putting out more into your catalog. And if you're somebody who's making like a consistent message, that's fine.
Yeah.
But if you're talking about a wide variety of things, and I feel like you talk about a wide variety of things in your music. Like I said, that goes back to what we were talking about a little bit ago. With you kind of hitting that serious piece, reaching out, kind of pulling them heartstrings, talking about that low point of society, talking about people's lives, like mistakes that people are making in their lives, like wrong turns people are making and stuff like that. And then you're also talking about that redemptive aspect, talking about where you want to be with your life and stuff. And I feel like you're hitting different things and going in different directions. I don't feel like as that type of artist, which I feel like that's the music that lasts and makes an impact.
Yeah.
But as that type of artist, I don't feel like you can put out something every couple of months.
Yeah. No, I mean, my hat's off to the people that can do it like that. You know what I mean? But like, I also have fallen into where like it was 8 years between a fucking album for me. You know what I mean? Because I went through a bunch of life shit, and I mean, I was touring and going crazy for a few years, and then I started drinking again and just fell back from everything for a few years. And so that's too long. You know what I mean? Like for me, like that, you know what I mean? The people wanted something earlier than that for sure, but just life happened and it took a while. You know what I mean? So that's what I don't want to do, is ever do that again. I want to be able to give them something every year. You know what I'm saying?
Right. Yeah, and Caleb throwing it out there. People want a new project monthly anymore, and then he says it's going to sound good but not memorable. Yeah, it'll sound good if you get it mixed well and stuff, but like, nobody's going to remember that 2 years from now.
Yeah,
it's going to get to a point where people want quantity over quality, and that's sad. You know what I mean? It's all about the quality first. You know what I mean? Quality over everything else. Like my man here always says, when it comes to quality music, you know what I mean? Quality music, that's his thing. That's what he puts out. And quality takes time.
Well, that goes back to what it's about. Like I said, I mean, the reason I started fucking with Wildcard, anyway, was you came up, you brought that first track, and I was listening to it. I'm like, this dude's bringing a message. Like this dude's bringing a real message. Like it's not just junk throwaway. It's not, and I respect too. Like, obviously, I understand when you're going through the mixing process and everything, there's some, effects put everywhere, some EQ jumped in everywhere and all that. But, like, I love, too, that your rap voice, I can tell listening to it is your rap voice. And I can tell between, like, recorded tracks and your live performances, it's like you're not being a different person on those two. And I have a lot of love for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure. I appreciate that, bro.
Yeah. But it's
Phil, the song where you say you're going to use my reaction as a sample. I'm just curious, like, what's the name of the song? So I know, like, to look out for.
Yeah, I know you're super excited about that. I appreciate you, bro, because I got you on that. Because I just so AlphaTyler, so I heard JV do a reaction one time, and I was like, he was talking about my pops playing the guitar, and I was like, yo, this would be a perfect little snippet to put. I don't know the name of the song yet. I'm not sure where it even is going yet, but I know it's gonna be on there. And it was when you reacted to Dark Night of the Soul. You had said you were talking about it. Pops is on the guitar and this and all that. So. We'll get that up.
Because you got the reaction I did of my favorite song.
Yeah. So, and you were like animated about it, and it just sounded like it needed to be in a sample somewhere, like a snippet. You know what I mean? So, but I don't know the name of the track yet. Like I said, I'm still in the beginning stages of getting this album together, so I'm only like 4 songs in. But I got you. You'll be on that next one, though, bro. I appreciate you. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. No, I appreciate you, man. I appreciate the kind of music that you're putting out there, because it's the kind of stuff that needs to be promoted more. Because I feel like where you go with your music, it's what rap and hip hop has, should always be, ever since, it first became a thing back in the 80s, you know what I mean? Where artists were putting out messages, you know what I mean? And they were telling stories and stuff. It's like, to me, you're one of those, like a last of a dying breed, where you're like, I could put you in that same class as like Grandmaster Flash, you know what I mean? Where you're just one of those kind of dudes that really gets the true essence of rap and hip hop by going back to that whole storytelling and sending a message aspect of it.
Yeah, I appreciate that, bro. And that's like what I grew up on too. So I don't want that to die ever. You know what I mean?
Right. No, I feel that 100%.
Yeah.
I'm a drop because I know you're probably running short on time, and I do want to open it up if anybody wants to jump in and ask you some questions. I'm dropping the StreamYard link down in the chat in case anybody wants to jump in. I'll only let one person on at a time, and so once you get your question, kind of talk it out for a second, just jump off so the next person can come through. If anybody's interested, definitely click on that link I just pasted into the chat. I'll pin that up top real quick. But click on that, jump in, hit him up about some things while he's here. And then don't forget to, in the description, I'll let you guys get back on that subject, but don't forget in the description too, I'm going to have both of his YouTube channels linked. So make sure that you guys are hitting those up too.
And Tyler, real quick, I'm going to go off mic and off camera while that getting done so I can get ready to clock in.
All right. So outside of music, what are you looking at? What do you have going on right now? Like, you got any big moves?
I work in film, you know what I mean? I work as a crew member on movies that happen and shit. So that's something I did for 7 years. So that's how my life used to be. I would do a movie and then I would go on tour with the music, because you do the movie, it's real intense, 60-hour work weeks, for like a month and a half or something, and then you have some time off between. And then I would pack all my music time into those,
Yeah.
So we just finished a movie on Friday. It was called Boone, Boon. They shot it up here in Spokane, Washington. And I was a locations assistant manager on that. And yeah, that's my other part of my life,
That's dope. Like, so do you do your own music videos and stuff like that, or you have somebody else?
Yeah. So that's where I met the people that, like, through film, my dude Goose, Brian Goslin, he's the director of photography for all my videos, you know what I mean? And he just has a way to make it have snap, and Jason McKee edits them. I got assistant directors. I got people that are involved that know what, we all met through film, you know what I mean? You become bonded when you work 12-hour shifts with some people for months at a time, you know what I mean? So I was able to get like people that were super creative filmmakers to make my videos look like that,
Yeah, dude, that is really awesome. Like, because I love people that kind of have that depth, where they're doing different things at the same time, like kind of going into other mediums and everything. And I mean, kind of, knowing that you're kind of involved in that film process and everything like that, that's really cool to me. I don't like, that's just me saying that's really cool to me. Apparently it's cool to Tater too,
for sure.
Because Tater threw in the chat that is cool. I agree. I think it's a fantastic thing. Caleb talking about he's in the studio building a home, or in the process of building a home studio, getting some analog gear. I'm gonna tell you, man, like analog gear, I love analog gear. Obviously, like, you know, I've got a pretty decent setup of it. I used to have an analog, like a fully analog studio, but I will tell you, like in 2021, like I hate to say it because I went so long arguing against it. The analog always sounds better, but digital is right there these days. Like,
Yeah.
and it's a huge space saver.
Yeah, I'm open to either, bro, you know?
I like the analog feel because I like that old school recording process where everybody goes in the studio together. You know, you're real time working on things together. I like I like you know, finding that sweet spot on your mixing board, like all that stuff is fun for me. But I can't lie that like digital is, I mean, for convenience, digital is the way to go now.
Yeah.
So throwing out there again, I've got the link in the chat now. I got it pinned up at the top. If you guys want to jump in, join the conversation, hit that link. Most of y'all that regularly join in around here, y'all already know how it works and everything, but definitely, you know, Caleb, maybe a couple others, you guys might not know it. Just click that pinned link, jump on in. We'll pull you in, and you can join the chat with us. By the choice and talent, I'd always pick behind the camera. I just like behind the scenes stuff. Learn that's where the coolest and realest folks are, usually. And that's not even a lie. Oh, Amy, been waiting to talk to you. Here you go. What up, Amy?
What's up?
Amy.
Hey.
What's up?
Not much. Freezing.
Are you? Me too, man. We all are.
Yeah.
Bless.
I think I have you beat.
Yeah, I bet you do.
It's 0 degrees, literally, and with the wind chill, it feels like 15 below.
Mm.
Yeah, it's cold.
Yeah, that's way too cold, man.
Yeah.
Only another month, though, right? Hopefully, like, just another month of this shit, and then we get back into a little spring love.
Hopefully.
Amy's up north where winter never ends, in my experience. So
yeah, that's that north shit. Fuck.
Yeah. Well, I drove out to Washington State back in 2001, and I don't know. I know, like you said, you're in Spokane. That's like the middle of the state.
That's like more to the east side. It's like closer to the Idaho border.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. The border, it was beautiful when we drove up. We drove up through Coeur d'Alene, and then
that's like, right beside us. Yeah.
It's so beautiful there.
Did you make a stop at the State Line Strip Club? Tell me the truth, Amy.
No. I
missed that altogether, huh?
No, I was 21 at the time, and I was
old enough.
No, it's okay. You don't have to go.
I never went into a strip club until I was like 24, 25.
Oh, gotcha.
But
anybody that ever travels over here, State Line Strip Clubs, right on the state line of Washington and Idaho. It's nice. You know what I mean?
I had a lemon of a vehicle, so when we going up the hill into Coeur d'Alene, my car is like, I had like semis like passing me, honking their horn. My car was just pouring smoke out the back of it because I had transmission problems.
Yeah.
And we had to find an open station in Coeur d'Alene, spend hours trying to figure out what the problem was. So yeah, it was a long drive.
Yeah, that sounds like it. I'm sorry to hear that, man. I'm glad you got out of there alive. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. It was cool though. It was beautiful.
Cool.
Shout out to the ladies of After Hours Entertainment.
That's right, Tater Monkey.
I think I was every bit of like 18 in a day the first time I went to a strip club. Like as soon as they would let me through the door, I was like, I need to see titties just out.
Me too. That's what happened. They took me on my 18th birthday. I got robbed for fucking $70 right when I walked in.
Yeah. Yeah,
The girl was walking by and she was like, "Do you want to dance?" And I'm like, "Oh my god, she likes me."
listen, dude. I joined the army when I was 17. Okay.
Yeah.
And so I turned 18 in basic training. As soon as I got out of basic training, I came home for 2 weeks. And I was like, the first thing that happened, literally the day that my plane landed, my buddy picked me up and he was like, okay, we're all going to the strip club. And so we went to the strip. I got robbed for so much money because I'd had like two. Yeah, it was like I've been 2.5 months just getting paid and not able to spend it. I'm like, I'm going in here and fucking like they're getting something, and they were all coming up and flirting with me and everything, and then like realizing like when I had because I was still naive too, I tried to have a conversation with one of them and she just was not interested in talking to me. I'm like, maybe if I spend more money she'll be ready to talk to me.
No, you know what though, see, then that girl, she was not a hustler, because let me tell you, one of my old good girlfriends, the whole reason I went into a strip club for the first time is because she was one of the dancers, and that's the game. You got to get your regulars, you know. And they'll come back. Like she didn't have to like do the extras. She just got guys to like just spend money on her because she was a sweet girl, and she didn't do the extras. She made bank, but
because guys are easy.
So, yeah, but those girls, they get robbed too, because just to work one night they got to pay what they call bail. So just to work, like they have to pay like upfront like a certain amount.
Yeah.
So, but anyway, they call it bail.
So Amy, do you have a question for Mr. Wildcard?
Of course, being put on the spot. I suppose when I think back to I'm curious about. I'm not going to be able to like even probably articulate this the right way, but
it'd be a first if you could.
The wishing well bar, like I wish I could like know exactly how it went again, but it sounded like a double or a triple,
Yeah, to be honest, I remember, I don't know the lyric either. That was so long ago. And I remember you guys talking about it, but I don't remember what the lyric was. I know something about wishing well, but yeah, unless I had the lyrics in front of me, I couldn't really tell you. But a lot of that shit is open to interpretation too. I heard a lot of people like interpreting it the way that they thought it went, and that's like awesome to me too. You know what I mean?
Right.
You know?
For whatever reason, I want to think it was in the Bonnie and Clyde song, or no.
Yeah, it was Dark Night of the Soul. I'm pretty sure it was the Bonnie and Clyde song.
Yeah. GGV would know probably whenever he gets back, but yeah.
There was something about stealing people's change, or like, you know, when you steal people's change or you steal their money, you steal their wishes.
Yeah. And when you're broken down, you go into that wishing well, you can like steal all the money out the wishing well. Something like that.
Jason,
it's hard for me to recall exactly what I was saying at that point, to be honest with you. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
But yeah.
Jason was ready to take that one over. He's sitting there. He's like, I know which fucking song it is and where it's at and everything about it. He's like, I remember the conversation we had about that.
Yeah.
But I know overall, though, when he's talking about Bonnie, he's talking about the, his music. You know what I mean? He's trying to keep it alive. He's trying to keep his career alive.
That's my favorite song after Picket Fences.
Oh yeah, you like that Picket Fences, that Valentine's Day special?
Man.
You know what I mean?
Especially with the whale or the seal.
With the seal sound effect.
Yeah, man, that's my favorite.
Oh my god, that one. Even my dad was like, "Yo, that's wrong, man. That's wrong."
I know.
When I said you turn our happy home into a haunted house, I hope the memory of my dick will forever haunt your mouth. He was like, "That's fucked up, Philip. You shouldn't say things like that." You know what I mean?
This whole thing, you are an enigma wrapped in a whatever, right? So what I think is funny is that nobody's mentioned like your like sex addiction type thing, like you are not.
There you go, bringing that up again.
Hey,
I know.
I mean, it's his music.
Got me on that shit.
It's his music, man. I mean,
God
it is.
bless, man.
Hey, I've listened to a lot of Phil songs, and your boy is not holding anything back, and like that whole the whole picket fences thing with the whale or seal thing made me laugh so hard, dude, at the end.
That's why I did it. It's for entertainment. You know what I mean? That's why at the end I'm like, don't beat your women, don't talk crazy shit to your women. The seal sound effect is funny. You know what I mean?
It is hilarious.
Yeah, because I don't condone like
and that's why I wanted Tyler to react to that's why I wanted Tyler to react to Sick Girl, because I knew he was gonna flip out on that song. I just knew it. And
yeah, that was awesome. That was one of my favorite reactions.
To share that with you, because his reaction to the Sick Girl.
And then that part where I'm like, when my stepdad's abusing us, and you were like, "Damn, dog, why'd you got to take the vibe out of the fuck up the whole vibe with that shit?" Damn.
So I have a question, I suppose.
And then that one bar about the Christian and the Christian and Christian Grey, the 50 Shades of Grey kind of thing.
Yeah.
He goes, and Tyler's reaction to that was priceless. Like, how did I not see him, flip that? You know what I mean? Into something dirty. Like,
yeah. Yeah, I love that reaction, man.
I love that song. I've went back and listened to it a few times. It's still just as bad. I mean, like from not bad. Like, it's a good song. Don't get me wrong. But from the very beginning, because we're talking about finding the condom up in there and everything, I'm just like, God bless. Like, this is all downhill from just.
Yeah, because that really happened at a show. Somebody.
That's not what you said. You're like, oh.
Wait. No. Hold on. That really happened?
Yeah, somebody said that at a show, because I say, tell me something that your ex did wrong to you, And somebody came up in Santa Cruz at a show, Santa Cruz, California, and he was like, "Yo, I was about to eat my girl's pussy, and there was a condom hanging out of it from another guy."
Okay, number one, how did she not notice? And number two,
I didn't delve right into it, but I mean, you know what I mean? Like, I just thought it was like, that's the dirtiest thing I ever heard at a show. So I put it in a song. You know what I mean?
How did you resist? Like, I need follow-ups. Like, I need to know, number one, how she didn't know it was in there. And number two, like, how it slipped off and he didn't notice, like, it was gone and just hanging out there. Like,
yeah, that's wrong on so many levels. Like, for it to be stuck in her.
These are important questions.
I guess
he went soft. I should have been like, cut the music. We got to really delve into
this.
That's when you stop the show and you're like, man, get up here. Like, you've got a story.
Get up here and explain some shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we're gonna leave it to the end to bring the hard hitting questions. That's what about the deep part of Wildcard that.
What it ain't that deep if we're talking about a condom hanging out. I'm just saying, like,
it ain't that deep. Well, it ain't that long or whatever.
They're pretty deep. I'm just saying.
Unless it like snuck out. Anyways,
nobody ever had a condom slip off and end up in there.
Nah.
Me neither. Then
no.
One time.
I had a roommate that she thought she had something stuck up inside her, and she knew that I worked in healthcare. She was like, "Will you look?" I was like, "Fuck no." I was like,
you should have looked. I mean, if she was your girl,
flashlight out, put the headlamp on. You know what I mean?
No, she was so ratchet. She was actually on Jerry Springer.
Oh shit!
Right? No, she was ratchet.
Oh god,
that's the one you told me about, the hooker or whatever.
She was like a love line hoe. She talks people on not love line, live links, that old phone date call thing.
Yeah,
she'd hustle men.
Oh, I remember that.
Oh yeah.
That's a good question, Gabe.
Gabe's got a good question in the chat. Yeah.
So Wildcard is an unforeseeable factor. I looked at it like a lot of people judge me by the way that I look, and then they hear the music, and then they're like, "Oh shit, that was unexpected," you know. And then when I was in the dope game when I was a kid, I picked up a Suicide King card off of a table. All these gangsters were playing cards, and I had it on me, and I had all this bad luck. And I just remember thinking, like, this would be dope if that was my name, was Wildcard. That's why I got the Suicide King tattooed on my arm and shit right here.
All right. Good story, man.
Okay.
But yeah.
Okay.
But Phil, of all the card symbols, why the spade?
So the spade was like for the original, for Dark Knight of the Soul. I know it's super cliche, but it's just something I wanted to do, was have a different suit on every album that I put out, you know? So the original one was the spade, And then since I have like, I'm trying to go for like a better life, put a halo on top of the spade, you know what I mean? And that's been my trademark is is the spade and the halo, you know?
It's kind of tight. Like, the halo,
Okay,
like on the screen back there, it's like right above you almost.
Yeah.
That's kind of tight.
Yeah, and then the Odyssey is the hard album. You know, we had Medusa with the gun. I have a thing with like strong women with guns on my covers. I just like that shit. You know what I mean? Right. And then for the War, it was the Club, but we put it on the CD rather than the front cover. And then the next one will be the Diamond.
Right. So, hey, I don't want to interrupt much, and I don't want to take too much time. You guys, Phil, I just want to say thanks for your Instagram lives before your meetings, these kind of things. Thanks for your updates from the club or from the studio. You know, these little things that you delete. We really appreciate it. Like the people that are really down with you. I know. I mean, come on, Jason JV is down with you. I know Tyler is now and has been actually, but I am too. And the deal is, we really appreciate every time you go live, man. Just keep doing it and keep showing us like these little clips from the album. I know you got a long way to go with it, but man, we're there every single time.
I appreciate that.
Waiting.
Bro, for real.
Yeah, man, we just can't wait. We can't wait to react to it as reaction channels. You know, we're ready. You know, and that's all I want to say. I just want to check in with you and say, man, keep it up. Doing a great. You're doing great stuff. And Pops, I'm glad to see him back in the studio with you, man. That's awesome.
So that'll be Thursday. So I'll go live tonight at 7 on my Facebook, and then Thursday, I don't know what time. I think like 2 or 3 p.m. I'll go live again with Pops. So yeah, I'm keeping you guys posted every week with stuff. So I appreciate you saying that, man. I'll keep doing it as long as you people keep watching. You know what I mean?
Last time you said, hey, I don't know who's here anymore or what, or I don't know. I don't think you said who's here anymore, but you're like checking in, like who's here. And it's me and Jason JV almost every single time for sure.
For sure.
So
yeah.
But I mean, obviously a lot of others. So I'm not saying just me and him. I will say this, keep doing it. We like it. Even if you delete it afterwards, man, it's awesome to see what's going to happen, and we can't wait to react to it.
I appreciate it.
I know that for a fact. I know all of us will. So anyway, take it easy, y'all.
All right, man.
Yep. Bye, Chris. 100%, man. I think it's awesome. Tater, did you have a question?
I did, but I'm trying to get away from the tree trimming that's going on.
It must be nice to be able to trim your trees right now. Mine are trimming themselves. So
yeah.
Right.
For real.
Well, I was trying to show y'all a little, like everybody's showing y'all's coldness. I was trying to give y'all a little sunshine, but it ain't working. So
no, you just made me salty.
Piss on your
I love
sunshine.
to rub it in, baby. Rub it in.
Piss
Add
all
some
over
alcohol
that
to
sunshine.
it too. So I will be honestly, I don't listen to rap Wild Child or what I said Wild Child. Anyway, because I saw the Mad Child. Anyway, Wildcard. I try, but I'm more of a chillax person. But
yeah,
on that, I guess it's because I come from rural America, and you know, like when rap got in, there wasn't like Up Church and all of them rapping about country crap because we didn't understand inner city, even though we had the drugs and stuff. So when y'all first started and you were talking about how you were growing up, I mean, I know that because I grew up the same way. My mom was really deep in the drug trade or in the drug business.
Yeah.
And it was, you know, and seeing things you see your parents do and have issues. But on that, do you look back and appreciate it now? Because without those experiences, you wouldn't be who you were today and be able to identify with other people that come from similar backgrounds that you can be a voice to, so to speak.
Absolutely. Yeah, for sure. You took the words right out of my mouth. And I've said it in a song too, is if I didn't have all that happen, I wouldn't be able to write all this, you know? And then when I do write it, and then people like even yourself that have been through that can relate to somebody putting a voice to it, that's like a big deal for me too. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I like being able to share and bond with people through like our experiences that we've gone through, you know?
Well, for me, it's really cool to see that, or just hear. I think I've seen, thanks to Jason on his reaction to where your dad's playing or whatever. Sorry, I don't really listen, but it was cool to see you have been able to let go of the past and start at least having some kind of a, relationship, be it a brother relationship or a father-son relationship, but be able to move on.
Yeah, for sure.
And
definitely.
And which is cool because me and my mom are the same way. Like we're more like sisters than we are mother and daughter. And a lot of times I had to be the mother in the home mother-daughter situation, which, so, but she lives with me now and it is what it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I just want to say, keep doing you.
Thank you.
And I don't really have any questions because I don't really know your music, but
it's all right.
You've heard them on a lot of the Thursday lives. You just probably.
Oh yeah, I do. I mean, but I will be honest. Like if it's anger, like even if it's not anger, if it has that beat to it where it's just like, rawr, I tend to just shut down and not even listen to the lyrics because I have no musical talent whatsoever. I can't play. I can't write. I can't sing, but I can feel. You get what I'm saying? Like I can feel. Yeah. And so if you were singing out of anger, I can feel that. And I've just learned that in my life, I've got to listen to chill music or I'm a very angry person.
Yeah, I got you. I understand.
Yeah, I mean, and that I don't mean any disrespect to you.
No, I completely understand. Yeah, for sure. You got to do what you got to do. You know what I mean? Because there's certain things I can't watch because I know it'll affect me. You know what I mean? So like, I completely relate.
Well, like you were saying on your freestyle, like it's hard, you're not going to be able to listen to your Mama Joes because you're going to want to hit them.
Yeah, yeah.
Like in front of you because of the emotion and like, hey, hold up, because you can't identify. I mean, you can't separate it.
Yeah.
If that makes any sense. But
for sure.
Anyway, keep doing you, boo. I'm out of here.
Thank you.
And if you're ever in Maui, I'm trying to get the whole Alpha gang over here and we'll just have a jam session on the beach.
Let's do it.
Sure, yeah. I think Buzz agreed that his wedding was going to be out there, right? So like,
I'm telling you, y'all should do it. Anyway, it's a beautiful place, and even though it's a lot of bullshit, it is a very spiritual and just a really chill place. Though our music sucks, though, I will have to say.
I don't know about that. I like them island vibes.
Well, no, I mean the island vibe, but like as far as we getting anybody over here to go to concerts, unless you are like part of like one time they flew over Maroon 5 for some conference or whatever. And so if you were on the beach, you were able to see like the see them via through the thing, but other than that, you're not invited. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Unless it's reggae or something like that. I mean, lately we have been getting country people over here a little bit. Well, before the pandemic. Right. So, but as far as rap, I don't think anybody would come over to Maui for rap.
I don't know. They might want the scenery. So, I mean,
right. Love y'all, all of y'all. Y'all have a wonderful day, and I got to get back to work so I can support all y'all fuckers.
All right, Tater, you have a good day. Thank you.
Later, Tater.
Bye.
Bye, Tater. I'll say one thing I really liked out of what you were saying there. You were kind of talking about people going through that different phase and everything. And my personal favorite Wildcard song is Sunblood. And I think that what you're touching on a lot in that song is really kind of looking back on that, where you're at now versus where you've been and kind of that past. It's not that happy fun song. I don't imagine it's probably most people's favorite song because it's kind of going to some deeper and darker places, but I really appreciate that aspect. You know what I mean?
Yeah, thanks, man. It's one of my favorites too that came together pretty well,
Yeah.
And those are stories I wanted to tell about, like the guy that I looked out for that ended up dying, and then a friend of mine that ended up ODing, and then myself.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. Lance did that beat. As soon as I heard it, I was like, oh man, I'm gonna have to rock this one. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I can tell you, I probably after I first heard that, I would say I played it at least a couple of times every day for like a week.
Oh,
Just
nice.
because I mean, like that one, it just resonates with me. And again, going back, what we were talking about earlier, I think if you've ever kind of hit that bottom point, whatever your vice is, whatever your issue is, whatever you're struggling with, if you ever kind of hit that bottom point, you get to the other side where you're actually genuinely trying to help other people come back from that point. I think that song just has such a resonance with you. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I appreciate you saying that, because that's what I was going for sure.
Yeah. Yeah. It comes out 100% that way. And I think it's really vulnerable of you and kind of the way it's written, because I know that those are a lot of personal stories that are kind of held close to you. So I definitely want to shout out. It's not lost on how the song comes across. It definitely it comes across full force, and I really appreciate that song personally.
Cool, man. Thank you for saying that, bro.
Yeah.
Like to kind of jump in here, like as far as like the whole dope game and everything, like, and that specific one, like I grew up with that also, like my whole life. My family, my best friend back in the day, he was a dealer, and it's like I've been around that, and then I've had my own issues, and since finding like Tyler's channel and meeting these people, I've been straight. I've not done any shit since probably like October, and
oh, nice.
It's like the only thing that's kept me going, that and God. So going back to the whole conversation of finding your faith and like using that to get like help you, and then incorporating that into the music. It doesn't have to be like a whole lot, but that is definitely something that would be relatable. I mean, especially like for me, it's like but it's hard every day. But yeah.
Yeah, I feel you, man.
And it's cool to hear like you're straight up, like to the point honesty about what you've been through, because it's relatable, at least for me.
Right. No, for sure. I appreciate you saying that. I'm glad that that's like translating. You know what I mean?
I think that's a strong thing for a lot of people too. I mean, always really kind of seeing where somebody else has been, and especially, I think, and not to say like that burden then comes on to you, but for somebody else to be able to hear where you've been and then look at where you're at right now, look at, you were talking earlier, you don't drink, do anything at all. And it's like, seeing kind of how that transformation has happened. I really feel like that gives a lot of strength to a lot of people that are struggling right now,
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. Well, and the music, I think that an artist should be making music to help themselves, get those feelings out and express those feelings. And if it helps somebody else along the way, then that's probably like the greatest thing, I would imagine.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, a lot of artists, like Eminem and others would always say that music is the best form of therapy, and you don't realize how true that is, until you actually listen to it. You know what I mean? And you actually listen to the point that the artist is trying to make. And, to Amy's point, if they talk about something relatable, like a similar struggle and stuff like that, then yeah, it makes the listener feel good knowing that, okay, they're not alone in that struggle. They're hearing from somebody else, giving their perspective, you know what I mean? And it helps them, in the sense like, okay, I know things are going to get better because this person went through it. So there's a light at the end of the tunnel for myself. And then as an artist, it's even better, you know what I mean? Because it's like, well, who needs therapy when you have the abilities to write your own stuff, to write, your own feelings about your own experiences, and then just putting it out there, you know what I mean? It's like that.
Yeah.
That's why I always say, like, music to me, it's my addictive drug of choice. You know what I mean? I said that in my song, Can't Quit You. You know what I mean? It's my addicted drug of choice, because there's no greater high than just getting these feelings and all these thoughts, you know what I mean? Just out there, you know what I mean? So that way you can finally just let go and move on to something else.
Yeah, for sure.
And that's strength too, being able to show that vulnerability. and be open with all that stuff that you've gone through. Because so many people, you know, I feel like a lot of musicians, not all of them, but there's the ones out there that they just write crap and it's not relatable. And I feel some of the best, you know, how do I say this? Like the realest fans, they see that vulnerability. Like I can listen to a song, but if there's like no emotion and no heart and you feel it's just words on paper that a bunch of people came together and wrote just to like, maybe I don't know the right word, but pander to a specific audience, that's not real to me.
Yeah.
So. All right. Well, it's like what I said about, you know, people who are only in it, like people who are only fans of like wordplay and, you know, like the rhyme schemes and, you know, the other little tricks and tools of the trade. It's like, okay, yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, all that is well and good, but if it doesn't serve a purpose as far as like helping to get a message across or, you know, telling a story, well, then what's the point? Those are all just hollow things.
Yeah.
Yep. But I think I've taken about twice as much of your time as you originally.
It's all good, brother.
If you, I definitely understand if you need to hop off. Let me give you the spotlight for a minute. Do you have anything you want to plug?
No, I just appreciate, you know, if you guys haven't heard, I dropped the album The War, Wildcard The War. You can look it up. It's all over. If you want to go back, you can look up Wildcard The Odyssey and Wildcard Dark Night of the Soul, Setting the Bar with Dead Poet. And then I'll have a new album out this year. So that's the plan.
Right on. Well, I've got two. If you guys haven't checked already, down in the description for everybody watching right now, as well as everybody who's watching later on this evening, because it's a little bit earlier. I don't think we had as many people as usually show up for these for me. So I know a lot of people will be catching up here in a little bit. But down in the description, if you guys are watching now or later, you'll find a link to both the Wildcard's YouTube channels. Is your social media is probably linked out on at least one of them, right?
Yeah, Facebook.com/wildcardqm. I post a lot on my Facebook on the fan page, so that's where a lot of traffic goes down. So if you guys want to check in with me, I go live every Monday at 7 for Q&As or just chopping it up or whatever, and then I'll go into the studio. Whenever I go to the studio, I'll go live too. So follow that if you want the news on weekly news and shit of what's going on with the music.
Right on. But yeah, definitely make sure that you guys are hitting up Wildcard. We will have some more recorded reactions going to Wildcard in the not so distant future. And of course, we are always going to be checking out Wildcard on Thursdays. So if you guys aren't hanging out on Thursdays, y'all are missing half the battle. But I definitely appreciate you coming on, man. I really enjoyed the conversation. I'd like to get you back on sometime in August after
for sure
drops too. Definitely have some talks about that once I get a chance to listen through it and stuff. So, but I appreciate you, man. It's been fantastic. I really love how your mind works. I like how open you are about all this stuff, and couldn't appreciate you more, man.
Thanks, bro.
But I'm gonna go ahead and close down the stream. We'll be back with Minecraft Monday here in about 15 minutes. So anybody wanting to come back, y'all are welcome. But like, share, and subscribe. Head over to Wildcard's channel. Make sure that y'all hit him up. I'm DJ AlphaTyler. I'll catch you guys next time.
All right.